If you choose write a story, there are two ways you can do it. One, you can do it on paper, like this girl is, or two, you can do it on the computer on Seesaw, and I'll show you how to do that in a sec. So, if you do it on paper, you might have a notebook at your house that you could write it in, or you might have some paper that you could staple together and make a little book. Now, make sure your story has words and pictures. And it might take a few days to write a story. That's not the easiest job. Some authors take years to write their stories. But a good story starts out by telling who the characters are, and maybe it'll show where they live or where the action's going to happen in their story. Then in the middle, all the action happens. Whatever the story is going to be about, everything happens. And at the end, everything all finishes up. So remember that stories have to have a beginning, middle, and an end. So now I'm going to show you how to do it on Seesaw. So go back to your Seesaw and go to the class journal. There's the journal. Now, I'm going to pick sample student, but you're going to pick your name. And then you go to add. Click on the add, and then you could post student work. That means you're going to do work, and it's going to go up on Seesaw for the teacher to see. And to write a story, you're going to need the drawing tool. The drawing will give you an option to type or an option to write. So you could take a pen and say, once, it's really hard to write with your mouse though. Once upon a time, you could do it that way. If you don't like what you do, you can always erase it. I'm going to pick the typing tool and start my story once upon a time. Now, you don't have to start with once upon a time, but you might want to. Now, your word box or text box can move. It can go anywhere you want it on the page, as long as you have this cross tool that you see. It can also be stretched out so your words go in a different shape. Now, I'm not going to write my whole story. I'm just going to start the once upon a time for you. But I'll show you how you might want to draw a picture. Say you wanted to put the sun in the sky. You might grab the circle, and that's kind of large in my mind, so I'm going to go to the corner and shrink it up. And then I'm going to go up to the yellow and turn it yellow. And then go down to a pen, and I'm going to add some rays, but I have to also change that to yellow. The color that you have is what the big circle is, so you can click down here and get any color you want. So here comes my sun's rays. And remember, if you don't like something, you can always erase it. But every page has to have pictures and words. Okay, then I would draw my characters, and when I'm ready for the second page, I will go down to this corner, add a page. Whenever you need a blank page in Seesaw, you go down to this corner and add a page. Then you can write the second page. And Seesaw allows you to write up to 20 pages. You don't have to write that many, but that's the most you can write. So say you were out of time and you had to stop for the day. Up in the corner, there's something called draft. And of course, there's the thing that you normally turn stuff in on. Also, I forgot to show you, you can see your pages right here. So I would click draft because I'm not finished and I want to be able to come back to my journal and find it and finish it another day. So I'd click draft. But the cool thing about this is it also sends it to my teacher, so my teacher can see that I did some work today. And I'm working so hard, it's going to take me a few days to do this project. So you can click draft and it will head to your teacher. If you happen to finish the whole thing, then you would click the regular green circle with the white check. But I'm not finished. I barely started, so I'm going to click draft. Hope you have fun being an author.